You ever wonder if one tiny, fleeting moment of kindness or faith can actually make a difference in the grand scheme of things? Well, the Sutra of Great Compassion has this incredible story of hope that says the answer is a huge, definite yes. It shows us how even the smallest good deed can be like an eternal investment, and it all kicks off in a moment of pure, raw desperation.
So, picture this. Our story starts in one of the most terrifying places you could imagine, the middle of a vast, unforgiving ocean. We've got a group of merchants, they're miles and miles from land, and suddenly their whole world is turned upside down by a crisis they never saw coming.
And this quote, wow, it really captures just how desperate they were. See, this wasn't just about being afraid of dying. It was a deep, spiritual pain. They truly believed they were about to be cut off forever from everything they held sacred. Their connection to their faith was about to be completely severed.
So what was causing all this terror? Well, it was a makara, a colossal, monstrous fish that had surfaced with one simple, horrifying goal: to swallow their ship whole. I mean, against a creature like that, they were totally and completely helpless.
But right when it looks like it's all over, the story takes this amazing turn. In this moment of absolute crisis, the leader of the merchants doesn't suggest fighting back. Instead, he proposes an act of pure, unshakable faith.
And what's so incredible here is just how simple their response was. Faced with this overwhelming terror, they didn't do anything complicated. They just focused all their collective energy into one simple ritual. They joined their palms, they chanted together as one voice, and they recited the Buddha's name 3 times.
And the effect? It was instant. It was miraculous. The monster's mind, which just seconds before was filled with this raw, primal instinct to kill, was completely pacified just by the sound of the Buddha's name. All that aggression? Poof, it just vanished. The threat was gone, not because of force, but because of faith.
But hold on, the story doesn't even end there. Not by a long shot. That one single moment, just hearing the Buddha's name, it set off this unbelievable chain reaction for the monster itself. It eventually died, was reborn as a person, and then went on to become an enlightened monk. That one sound completely changed its entire karmic trajectory.
So this whole incredible story begs a really important question. How can one act, one moment of chanting a name, have such a powerful, lasting effect? Not just for the merchants, but for the monster too. Well, the sutra explains this with a really beautiful metaphor.
I mean, really think about it. In the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara, how does a single good deed not just, fade away? How does it survive without getting diluted or lost completely?
Well, the sutra gives us this absolutely stunning image. It basically says that nothing, and I mean nothing, is ever truly lost to the awareness of the Buddha.
Okay, so let's break this down because it's beautiful. Your good deed, that little wholesome root, that's the single drop of water. It goes into the great river of samsara, and that river flows into the huge ocean of the Buddha's wisdom. But here's the crucial part. The Buddha can find that one specific drop, totally unchanged, in the entire ocean, which means your single good deed, it stays intact. It is never, ever lost.
And the sutra isn't even done. It doesn't just tell us our good deeds last. It also tells us where they ultimately lead, with a second, equally powerful metaphor. I love this analogy. It's so perfect. It shows so clearly that once you make that connection, a certain outcome is already locked in, even if it hasn't happened yet, right? The fish is still swimming around in the pond, but really, its fate is already sealed.
So when we break this one down, the whole picture just clicks into place. We are the fish, swimming around in the pond of samsara. That single good deed we did, that's the hook, and it's planted right in the Buddha's field of merit. And the Buddha, acting as the fisherman, will eventually, inevitably, pull us to the shore of nirvana. Liberation isn't just a possibility, it becomes a certainty.
All right, so after all that, the story, the metaphors, what's the big takeaway for us right now? Well, the core message here is incredibly empowering, and it all boils down to one simple, profound truth.
It all comes down to the number one. One act, one thought, one single moment of sincere faith. The sutra says again and again that there is this incredible, almost unbelievable power packed into a single, intentional connection with the good.
And just look at this list. This isn't about some huge, complicated ritual. A single chant, a moment of real faith, offering just one flower, even a single thought of respect when you see a temple, or just hearing the name in a dream. The text says every one of these plants an indestructible seed.
So here's the bottom line. The most important thing to take away from all this. Every act of faith, no matter how small or fleeting it might seem to you, is an eternal investment. It's like putting a deposit in a spiritual bank account that has a guaranteed return. It's a seed that is absolutely destined to grow and eventually bear the fruit of liberation.
And that leaves us with this one last, really powerful verse from the sutra itself. It's asking us to trust in something that's way beyond our everyday understanding, to have faith that our small, positive actions ripple out in ways we can't possibly imagine, and that they will ultimately lead to a reward that is just as profound and just as inconceivable as the source it came from.